Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our Shabbat at home together here in the Beth Chaim Sanctuary on this lovely Erev Shabbat. We find ourselves in the time of our people's journey from Passover to Shavuot, from liberation to revelation. In ancient Israel, this was a time when farmers, and just about everyone was a farmer, they brought their sheaves of grain from the early barley crop. Passover was the celebration of the barley harvest. So they brought that crop to the temple in Jerusalem as offerings for the appreciation of having a harvest. In Hebrew, these sheaves were called omer. In the Jewish mystical tradition, these 7 weeks, 49 days, from Pesach to Shavuot, have meditations that derive from emanations of the divine, the Sfirot, in the language of the Kabbalah, our mystical tradition. So this Erev Shabbat, we find ourselves in the second week of the counting of the Omer. This is the week of Gvura, often translated as well-boundaried, well-disciplined, connected to our strength. Tonight, on the 13th day of the counting of the Omer, we are in Yesod Shebechesed, Shebegvura, excuse me. Yesod Shebegvura, foundational strength. And so tonight, we'll consider what that might mean to us.
So it's time now to light our Shabbat candles. Time to shed light on the beauty of our surroundings, of our blessings, and of the blossoming of spring that only Shabbat can really bring us.
Sing in the light.
Sing in the light.
Sing in the light.
Sing in the light.
Sing in the light of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Sing in the light.
Sing in the light.
Sing in the light.
Sing in the light.
Sing in the light of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Since I'm still recovering from my second knee surgery, I will be seated tonight, and so our candles are behind us, and we want to thank our director, Mark Garretts, for configuring the bima so that I could be here and be seated for the service tonight.
So let's bring that light forward.
Yes. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Please sing with us. Shalom Aleichem. To welcome ourselves into this sweet Shabbat consciousness. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Mahalachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Mahalachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Mahalachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Mahalachei Elyon, mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Psalm 121 teaches us, Esa Einai, lift up my eyes to the mountains. I lift up my eyes. From where does my help come? This is the Yesod Shebegvura, the foundational strength that the Omer awakens in us this evening. Our friends from Nefesh Mountain bring us a version of this prayer with their unique Jewgrass flavor. Listen, sing along, dance with this powerful prayer energy.
In this time of coronavirus, even as many of us are getting vaccinated, thank God, it's sometimes hard to keep track of what day it is. When we engage this ancient Jewish spiritual technology of counting the Omer, we stay connected to deep blessings every single day. Right now, as we continue our welcoming of Shabbat, we focus on 4 of the central spiritual practices of our tradition: Ahava, V'rachamim, Chesed, V'shalom. Love, compassion, empathy, and wholeness, peace. Ahava, V'rachamim, Chesed, V'shalom. Ahava, V'rachamim, Chesed, V'shalom. Ahava, V'rachamim, Chesed, V'shalom.
In this time where we need to connect to all of the healing energies in the universe, we sing the Angel Song, a prayer in which we call upon the energy of the divine that is all around us.
B'Shem Hashem Elohei Yisrael, Mimini Michael umismoli Gavriel, umilfanai Uriel, umeacharai Raphael, ve'al roshi shechinadel. In the name of God, God of Israel. On my right, Michael, and on my left, Gabriel. In front of me is Uriel, and behind me Raphael, and all around, surrounding me, Shechinat El. We lead into the Baruch Hu our realization of the connection to the source of all blessing. This is our call to awareness. Normally we do this rising, and if you'd like to at home, we invite you to rise, because that is the posture of gvura, of strength. If you're able, and we're going to stay seated tonight, you're invited to rise. Hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la. la 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 la, la 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 la,
la 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 la, la 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 la.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Halalai lai lai 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 Halalai lai lai. If you happen to have your Sidurim at home, we're on page 59. We sing the first and last lines of our prayer, Ma'ariv Aravim, that welcomes the evening. Sun is set and opens us to the wonder of the rhythm of life. Shabbat is our great rebalancing tool in our spiritual toolbox. It's the evening of the frayed edges of our lives. Please sing back to us. Evening,
Evening,
the evening, evening, the frayed edges of our lives. Ma'ariv, Aravim, Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim.
Evening,
Evening,
the evening, evening, the frayed edges of our lives. Ma'ariv, Aravim, Amen. El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Aravim.
Amen. This next prayer, Ahavat Olam, we are loved, reminds us that Yesod Shebegvura, this foundational strength, is an expression of God's love. We can feel this through the shared love with family and friends and community. Please join with us in the refrain, "We are loved by unending love."
And if you have your Siddur at home, it's on page 61. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love.
We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love.
We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. We sing a kavanah for the Shema. Open up our eyes. Please join us if you're able. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that we are one, and we will know that all is one.
And now it's time for the Shema and the Ve'ahavta. We will put the words on the screen, possibly, so we can sing together, or you may have your Siddur. Please join us. What page is it on?
65.
Page 65.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטלטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
And now we invite you into a meditative space for the reflective time of the Amidah, the standing prayer, the reflective prayer. We listen to the Sfirat HaOmer Nigun by the Hadar Ensemble with Yosef Goldman, Deborah Sachs-Mintz, Chava Mirel, and Joey Weisenberg. The prayer begins, for the sake of the union of the Holy One and the Shekhinah, the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. We are ready in body and mind to fulfill this mitzvah of the counting of the Omer, this time of 7 Shabbatot.
Shem yichud kodsha brichu ushchintei hineni muchan umezuman lekayem mitzvat aseh leshem yichud kodsha brichu שכינתי, הנני מוכן ומזומן, לקיים מצוות עשה, של ספירת העומר, של ספירת העומר, של ספירת העומר, של ספירת העומר. 7 שבתות תמימות תהיינה, 7 שבתות תמימות תהיינה. Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer, al sfirat ha'omer, שבתות תמימות תהיינה, 7 שבתות תמימות תהיינה.
We dream of a world at peace together, a world where we are all free. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Please join us.
Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Oh, say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. This week of Yesod Shebegvura, foundational strength, included our people's observance of, on Wednesday evening and Thursday, of Yom HaShoah VaHaGvura, Holocaust and Resistance Commemoration Day. Each year, Yom HaShoah brings with it memorial gatherings across the world, candle lighting ceremonies with elderly survivors, and speeches by dignitaries. So tonight, for the Devar, a story of Gvura, of strength that comes out of the Shoah, out of the darkest night of the soul imaginable. As we here now try to navigate what we hope will be the last stretch of this global pandemic. Irina Sendler was born in 1910 in Warsaw, Poland. She grew up in a town, a small town outside of Warsaw called Otwosk. Her father, a physician, was the only doctor in the town of Otwosk and treated the poor, mostly Jewish community through a devastating typhus epidemic in 1917. The disease eventually took his life as well. When World War II started in 1939 in Poland, Irina immediately started protecting her Jewish friends in Warsaw. She worked as a social services director and would make false documents for Jews in the city. On October 12, 1940, on Yom Kippur Eve, the Germans issued a decree calling for the establishment of a ghetto in Warsaw. About 400,000 Jews from the city and the surrounding region were forced to move into an area a little more than 1 square mile. In mid-November, the ghetto was sealed on account of the cramped conditions, poor sanitation, very limited food and medicine. Disease and starvation claimed thousands of lives each month. In July 1942, mass deportations of Jews from the Warsaw Ghetto began. Most were sent to their deaths at Treblinka. Horrified by the German persecution of the Jews, a group of Polish citizens formed an underground organization called the Council for the Aid to Jews, or Zagota, in September of 1942. Irena Sendler became the head of Zagota's Children's Bureau. She obtained documents that allowed her to enter the ghetto, and she began to smuggle children out. Irena and members of Zagota led some children out through the underground corridors of a courthouse and through a tram depot. They sedated some infants and carried them out in potato sacks or even coffins. A church located on the edge of the ghetto also became useful. It had two entrances, one inside the ghetto and one on the Christian side of Warsaw, and was used to smuggle out many Jewish children. In addition to smuggling children out of the ghetto, Irena found safe places for them to hide, often with Catholic families in the Warsaw area. Children were also sheltered in convents, hospitals, and orphanages. The Nazi SS began to take notice of Irena's activities. On October 20th, 1943, she was arrested by the Gestapo and taken to Pawiak prison. Irena was tortured brutally, but she refused to give any information about Zagota or about the children she had placed in hiding. She was sentenced to death. Members of Zagota bribed one of the Gestapo agents, and on the day Irena was to be executed, her life was ransomed and she escaped. Of course, she had to go into hiding for the rest of the war, but she continued to coordinate her rescue work. By January of 1945, when Warsaw was liberated by Soviet troops, the Children's Bureau of Zagota had helped more than 2,500 Jewish children survive. The exact number of children saved by Irena and her partners is unknown. Yad Vashem recognized Irena Sendler with the Righteous Among the Nations Medal in 1965. She died in Warsaw on May 12, 2008, at the age of 98. Zichrona livracha. May her memory forever be a blessing. May we learn and be inspired by her unimaginable courage and resiliency of Irena and other survivors and resistance fighters. Ken yehi ratzon, so may it be. Amen.
Amen.
Now it is time to ritually count the Omer. Zoe sings the blessing of the counting.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. Hayom 13 yom shehem shavua echad v'shisha yamim la'omer. This is the 13th day, making 1 week and 6 days of the Omer.
Amen.
We now invite you to visualize the loved ones and friends who are in need of a prayer for healing. We include those around the world who are sick from the COVID-19 virus and recent victims of violence. If you're on Facebook, you can type the names of your loved ones who are in need of this prayer in the chat if you wish. And you're also invited to say their names aloud in just a moment.
O God of compassion, source of healing, God who blessed Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, we pray to you on behalf of Bill Fisher, Cindy Watkin, Carol Mulrooney, Bob Arnold, Lonnie Barish, Laura Ben, Sandy Morris, Bryce Kelly, Tamara Grelk, Harvey Finkel, Susan Colas, Herb Holden, Herb Manleveg, Louis Levy, Marty Bach, Monty Garretts, Aharon Ben Yerucham HaKohen, Mildred Bernstein, Shira Bat Chaim Mordechai Valiba Devora, Shella Pearl, Ado Jagoda, Daryl Davidson, Jason Moss, Cheryl Adler, Linda Ahrens, Charlotte and Irving Markowitz, Robert Glazier, David Ben David Vedina, Naama Levana Bat Avraham Vesara, Lorette Abrams, Savion Plum, Paul Head, Judith Damboek, Naftali Ben Yidel Vishifra, Beth Siegel, Bilha Bat Eliyahu V'chaya, Tzipora Rachel Bat Esther V'Aryeh, David Ben Esther V'Aryeh, Ava Pedersen, Binyamin Nachshon Ben Esther V'Aryeh.
And Rabbi Dan, who is still recovering from his 2 knee replacement surgeries. For our prayer tonight, our prayer of healing, we have a breathtaking version of the prayer from Psalm 147, Harofeh Leshvurei Lev, the healer of broken hearts, arranged by Solomon Hoffman, together with over 100 musicians and vocalists from around the country.
Harofeh
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, healing of body, healing of spirit, and please, dear God, give strength to those who lovingly provide them with care. And we say together, Amen.
Amen.
Amen. For this week, our Yortzeit observances include Lee Sandor, mother of Janet Freeman, Michael Shumo, brother of Karen Carter, Norman Binger, husband of Lynn Binger, Phyllis Lappin, mother of Stan Lappin, Ralph Blyer, husband of Kathy Blyer, father of Ken Blyer, Kelly Cohn, and Jason Blyer, grandfather of Ethan and Avery, of Kyla, Noah, and Eli. Franklin Saul, father of Frederick Saul and Jennifer Saul. Joyce Weckstein, mother of Lou Weckstein. Jack Sarver, father of Diane Sarver Davidson. Rudy Ryan, stepfather of Rob Kadish. Shirley Levitt, mother of Debbie Roof. Donald Sampson, father of Glenn Sampson. Sherry Boxerman, sister of Kathy Begun. John Benson, father of Heidi Benson Stagg. All those who are in the first year of mourning the loss of a close loved one, please rise if you're able to honor their memories. Anyone observing a Yortzeit tonight is also invited to rise, and anyone else who feels the need to say the Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish tonight, please rise. We share the words on the screen with all who wish to say the Kaddish tonight. For all these we say, Zichronam livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing in our lives. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Bialma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabba mivarach le'olam u'li'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush berchata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
Zecher, 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 tzadikim livracha, livracha. Their memories bless our days, bless our days. Tomorrow morning, there will be Torah study at 11 a.m. You can get the meeting ID from the happenings. Now it's time for the Kiddush and Motzi. We hope you have some wine or a beverage of choice to taste the sweetness of this Shabbat right now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Chaim. Because of the week, it's been a challenging week after the surgery. We didn't have a chance to bake challah, so we imported a very special challah from Italy. Yes, here it is. Lovely. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. I want to thank all of the kind souls who were able to provide nourishment this week during this challenging time for myself and Zoe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So appreciated, so appreciated. We close with a Jewish harvest celebration prayer. Salenu al katafenu. Our baskets are on our shoulders. By the wonderful duo, Yonina.
סלנו על כתפינו, ראשינו עטורים, מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים. סלנו על כתפינו, ראשינו עטורים, מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים. סלנו על כתפינו, ראשינו עטורים, מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים. מיהודה מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים. מיהודה משומרון, מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים. סלנו על כתפינו, ראשינו עטורים, מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים. סלנו על כתפינו, ראשינו עטורים, מקצות הארץ בנו ביקורים. לנו דרך לנו ביקורים איתנו, אך בטוב חלל וחליל, אך בטוב חלל וחליל.
During this time of the Omer, let's make every